Good afternoon all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, July 27th. We are looking at window traders market profile of SPY IWM and triple Qs. And a really good day today because the algos, for the most part, were very readable and accommodating. Stayed out of M's range. The market's done what it's done so much recently, which is take back trend days on almost V-shaped recoveries. So all we have is today's high and low. Sellers actually won the day. I mean, they held overnight low, IB low. They had the opening and value lower. All day they held it, but really, and we did close down almost 0.5%, but shit, excuse my language, they give up so much once again. Triple Qs go out with a trend day down. They hold one set of single prints only. They had three at one time. They hold B set of single prints. Russell, I mean, these things were looking like B shapes, not really B shapes. I mean, I guess they're ugly B shapes in Russell. Russell closes, never saw the opening. None of us saw our opening again, yet we all close at our afternoon highs. It's utterly amazing. We have big earnings out after the bell. You have Google, Microsoft, you have Apple at 4:30. But more important than any of that to me is the Fed tomorrow. Volume today in SPY right now, 64 million. So with the after hours, we may end up doing average. I did a lot of trading today and had a really good day. Nothing really big. My biggest trade was an L period, but I did a tremendous, and I only lost on one trade. I was very fortunate. So we started with an opening drive down, and the first trade I took was a long against yesterday's low to see if they would defend the one-time framing up in the daily, which they did not. It got below yesterday's low, took the trade off the 438 calls, and I lost money on that. But then when A came back and forth, I took a short because value went from overlapping to lower to lower right away. So I took a short on the 440 puts. B period started. We took out A's low, came back in, started shorting it in B with the 439 puts. Made money on that. Didn't do anything in C, actually didn't do anything in D. But then E period, once we started taking out the 3-day balance and getting into the gap, even though we didn't fill it, once we started going back and forth and we had singles that were holding, I scalped 439 puts 4 times in E period. And they all paid me. Now, before, you know what, I missed one trade I took. I wrote it down afterwards. I did take a long in D the first time we filled the single prints, the 437 calls, and it got responsive buying right away on a 20 lot. I made about 12 cents on it, well, even more than that. But that was responsive buying, so I did take a call play in D the first time we filled the trend day from the 23rd. And then in E, when we had single prints, scalped shorts 4 times. Now, didn't do anything in F. G period, I'm like, are we going to hold here? I thought we might. Took a small long in G. The 435 calls, I ended up getting paid small on them. I didn't hold on to them. And then in I, did nothing in H. I made the new low. Now, ES has a poor low. I do not. I took a long in I, though, not at the lows, but when it seemed to be holding, and I held them, believe it or not, through J. So they were small to start, went up, took them off. I kept adding as they came back down to F's low when they went back up because we were still one-time framing down, took them off. I did that a bunch of times on the 435 calls in in I, carried them on through J and added in J. And then finally I had some when we popped the top and I took them, the rest of them off. I believe it was at G's high. Then I started looking for a short to see if we'd get an afternoon rally high and would we hold the single prints. Actually, it wasn't G's high. I took the rest of my shorts off higher than that, longs off high. I'm not exactly sure where. It was only a small lot I had left. But then I did start a small short in K period against J's high. Went higher, filled the singles. I started with a 15 lot. We came down, took 10 off for money, held 5 in K. Went back up, filled the singles, added 10, so I had 15. And then when L popped, I said, I don't think we'll get to A's low. Especially at that time, I added a 50 lot. I was long 65 puts, and they came down, paid me very nicely on the 50, took the other 10 off, and then finally, right before M started, took the last 5 off that I had started in K. And then I just watched M period do their thing. It was a really good day, lost on only one trade. A lot of those other trades were small. They were 5 lots, 10 lots, 15 lots. But because the market was moving, I was getting paid pretty nicely in them, and I didn't have to take anything of any size. And got paid very nicely. Now, destinations for tomorrow. Incredibly, with this push down, since they took everything back, we only have 3 upside destinations. That's today's high, 493.94. Yesterday's all-time high of 441.03. And the overnight all-time high of 441.16. For the downside, now they have us closing at 438.98. Well, our first destination on the downside isn't until today's low of 435.99. Then fill in that gap which held from the 23rd, 435.72. We held that gap, if I could find it, by 23 cents. Here you go. There's the low, there's the gap. And that was important because then we don't have anything below that gap fill to 433.69 daily low, 433.62 9 wide from the 21st, 433.41 afternoon pullback low from July 21st, and 432.14 daily low. So I think at least for tomorrow, and by the way, the market came in a good quick dollar. So I didn't see any earnings. I didn't see Google or Microsoft, but I'm wondering if that helped push the market down a little bit. But I expect this to be hitting the golf ball inside of a racquetball court tomorrow. There's nothing to lean on. 6 wide POC, days high, days low. So unless we gap higher or lower tomorrow, we're going to have incredible chop. You better have your hard hats on. Once the Fed speaks, then it becomes interesting. If we take out today's high, all-time high should fall. If we take out today's low, well, like I said, there's nothing inside of here. So we could get some good acceleration inside of the 22nd and the 21st range. And then on the chart, we have 3 trading days to go in the month. Monthly, one time framing up 9 months, incredibly healthy. Remember, change is not going to take place on the longest time frame until we stop one time framing up on the monthly. Weekly, outside week up has produced nothing. Last week closed at 439.94. We closed at 439.01 now they have us. So this is the 3rd outside week up in a row. So far, nothing getting out of it. Balance still for me. Daily went from up to balance, 3-day balance. If we take out today's low tomorrow, we go from balance to down. If we take out today's high tomorrow, depending on how much we take out of it, I'll either keep it still in balance or go back from balance to up. Awesome day in the trading room today. I posted on Twitter one person's remark how much the room helped him. We had much more than one person saying that. It's a great group in here. It's very affordable. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Thanks for all the likes and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Have a great evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.